Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well. Well, tonight I want to talk to you about a common thing that everybody is dealing with during their lifetime, especially men. And that's the topic of confidence and feeling of inferiority towards other male. Whether you are one of the millions and millions of people who dealing with OCD, HOCD, or any other kind of OCD that affects certain kind of a thought and nonsense thought that is irrelevant to you, but nevertheless it appears and bothers you, makes you think that you are not what you always been. We're talking about heterosexuals who get thoughts of homosexuality and that plays in their heads and they data hunt it and entertain it and they get bothered with it. Whether you're in that kind of a glitch that you're trying to deal with it and move on, or it is just simply that you are like everybody else in the world who's always thinking about, am I confident enough, and feel inferior when somebody else shows up, another male shows up. So we're going to talk about that today and see if we can get some discussion going and take care of that topic that is in most people's mind and they deal with it on a daily basis. So let's begin. Look, ever since we were a little boy, every one of us, we have been robbed out of our confidence anyhow. We've always been compared to other people, other kids, whether it's compared to the siblings or to uncles' children or aunties' children, or the schoolmaster or the teachers compared us with the other students, that so-and-so is so good, so-and-so's got A's and this and that, so forth. Or in places that you were working, even policemen stop you and not stop the other one. or companies that you were working, they had award systems and always compared and awarded or taken a word away or punished. Constantly we were dealing since childhood that we're not good enough. That's what has been the message all along, that you're not good enough. At least you're not as good as I am. That's the message was. Whoever that person was that was was in charge and the authority at the time. So we always felt inferior. We always felt as we supposed to be inferior. We're supposed to ask for things, beg for things, qualify for things. And this has been part of what has been held over our heads in order to control us. So we feel as if we don't own our own powers and somebody else has to give it to us or do a favor to us, or somebody else has always got the power or the confidence and we're supposed to be submissive or subordinate or second-rated. That's the message. And if you look at it from every corner of the society that you've been raised in, you've been encountering with all these intentions which all are in harmony and orchestrated, whether they know it or not. But we've all been treated in this same way of feeling we're not good enough, we're supposed to be subordinate, and that roots of confidence that we each have in ourselves been crushed or burnt before it got into its manifestation and the power that it could be useful to us. So therefore we kind of feel as if we are conditioned to feel inferior, to feel not confident. It is bad to be confident, and we got to learn and be conditioned to think that whomever out there that we don't know anything of is perfect. Just for the mere fact that we don't know anything about them, that makes them perfect, rather than makes us question the fact that, hey, listen, I don't know anything about this person, so I cannot decree or pass a judgment that this person's got no problems, that this person is perfect, that this person is not dealing with the challenges that I am dealing, because human being is human being. I am you. I am every human being. I am humanity. You are humanity. There is no difference. Whatever I feel, the pain and the challenges in life is the same thing you feel. Whatever you feel is the same sort of things that I go through. So the idea that I've been conditioned to think that somebody else is perfect because I don't know anything about them, that's the problem right there. We are conditioned to think that because we know everything about ourselves, the glitches in our mind, the OCDs, the superstitions, the negative thoughts, the HOCD, which stands for, if you're a heterosexual, you think you're homosexual, the thoughts that pop up and makes you wonder, what is this thought, and so on, or vice versa. Whatever sexuality you have, you could be attacked with something else that is telling you that you're not what you are. All these have caused you to feel that you know everything about yourself and you know all these things about what's going on in your head. And because you know all these things, you think you're not good enough, there's something wrong with you, or you can pinpoint things that you don't like about what's going on in the head, and you attribute that to not being perfect. And then yet the person that is out there that you know nothing about, you give him a clean bill of health. clean record that, oh yeah, they've got everything in them, it works perfectly like a Swiss watch. While the brain is brain. It's coming from that million years ago, and it's been developed, or lack of its development is the same in every one of us. It's malfunctions and signaling malfunctions, electrical malfunctions, synaptic neurons malfunctions, all are malfunctioning the same in every single brain that is out there. The caudate nucleus, the thalamus, the amygdala, the frontal cortex, they all have the same glitches and powers and abilities and disabilities. They're all the same. But because we know these sort of things about ourselves, we're aware of these glitches, and we are not aware of anybody else's, what's going on in their heads. Lots of weird things going on everyone's heads, mine, yours, everybody else. But because we don't know what's going on in their heads, we can't tell, and they don't look it as if they are, because we can't tell from looking at them. We think they're all clear, they're all perfect. They don't have the problems that we have. They don't have the challenges that we deal with on a daily basis. Therefore, they are not inferior. They are actually confident, because, they all have this mean look, or glasses, or, they look like they're confident because they put that front. Why do they do that? Because they actually are not confident. They're scared. They've got the same problems, and they're hiding it behind their facial expressions of confidence. But they don't know shit. Like the person who sit in a classroom and the teacher is about to ask students questions and quiz them, and they look so confident. So the teacher would not ask them. But they don't know shit. They didn't even study. They didn't even know what the topic is. But they put that facial expression of paying attention to food, and that's how it's happening out there. Everybody that you see, you think that they look so confident, think again. If they were confident, they would be like you. Kind, pleasant, and not trying to hide anything, and being honest about it, and feeling the way you feel. That's a normal human being. Mixed from masculinity and femininity. We all have to have, like a samurai sword, you have to have a strong type of an alloy steel, and then inside it you have to have a different kind of a softer steel, so it will be flexible, then it will be totally strong rather than brittle and break and not be strong. So the flexibility of softness and hardness must work together in order to bring power. Same thing with us men. We have masculine and feminine in us, but the fact that you find yourself not so confident in certain situations, or in front of other people, other male, that they look confident, you think that, I'm feminine, therefore I'm not as masculine, a top dog as I want to be, or know I should be, and maybe then I'm not the heterosexual that I think. Or then you start going off with the negative thoughts and then homosexual thoughts, and start having this HOCD thing, you focus on it, and all the things that should be irrelevant to you and you should not even pay attention to, because that is a normal human being, what you feel. If you feel not confident, that's what a normal human being feels. All these people that you think they're confident out there, they're actually not confident. They actually feel inferior, but you don't know in their heads. But you just judge everything in their heads and how they're put together by just looking at them. You're being a fool. Don't be bamboozled by how things look like. Don't judge a book by its cover, as we always say, right? So just because you know things about yourself, but you don't know anything about the other people, that doesn't make them perfect or more confident or superior to you. Not at all, ever. Don't fall for that nonsense. Understand that we have been conditioned to feel inferior from childhood. Understand that when you see another male, it's not because you think that is more man than you are. It's because you actually know you are the more man than any other man around, because that's how you think about yourself. You're very masculine, you love women, and you feel great about it. When you see another man, though, what happens with you, that you see that other man as a threat. As a threat, if he has bigger muscle, or maybe looks more kind of caveman style, or not as, let's say, handsome as you are, it's not so refined look, and you've been taught or been conditioned from the movies that man look is ugly look, or not symmetric, or something that you've seen in the rough and tough look of a non-symmetric look of the actors, that they put a makeup on and make them look like that in the movies, and you feel being a man should look like what the movies have made you think that's a man's look. So if you're handsome, specifically if you're handsome, you think, oh, you're not as man as the others, which in fact is totally wrong, because if you're handsome, you got something extra going that the girls would like. So you have to understand, when you see another man, you feel that that is a threat. A threat to what? A threat to your chances to get all the girls, because you consider yourself the only one one that has all the right to all other women. When you see another man with the muscles or some kind of a, tough look or whatever it is that you've been conditioned to think that's the look of a man from the movies and all that, you think that's a threat because that man would have more chances to get the girls that you want to get the girls. So you kind of bow to the possibilities that that man has for getting the girls over you, and you kind of envy. So the anxiety that some of you feel, especially the ones who go through a glitch of HOCD, that anxiety that you feel when you see another male that you talk about it, that's not anxiety of thinking that, oh, you're less of a man than that person. It's the anxiety of the envy of the chances that that man could have with the girls more than you could. And to bring it to a more of a explanatory way, you feel that is a threat. Therefore, you have to get the threat away by fending off the threat, by finding that male as an enemy. It's an envy if they are muscly and so on. So you have that kind of envy feeling. And then the fact that they could have better chance with the girls because that's what you think. You've been conditioned that that's what the girls want. Only the girls who don't have much going for them, they only think, therefore, they go for the big muscle or whatnot. But if the girl really is looking for something of substance, they want a package, the whole package. Brilliance, smarts, intelligence, manners, respect, fitness, and all that together. So don't be bamboozled thinking just somebody because they've got a big muscle, then they've got something over you. No, that's how you've been conditioned to think. But nevertheless, you see that as a threat, as an envy and as a threat. The envy part you understand because you want that muscle and so on because you think you'll have more chance with the girls. And then the threat is that it is taking your chances with the girls away because you bow to the fact that that person has more chances with the girls. And we want girls. Every time that you see someone has some kind of a chance, some kind of an apparatus or some kind of a possibility to work for him when he wants to get to know the girls, you feel a bit envy. Like if he has a nicer car, if he has nice clothes or more money or good looks or whatever. These are because it's in association with your chances to get a girl, so you respect that. But it's still a threat, and that threat brings that anxiety. That the fact that that person is taking your chances away with the girls brings the anxiety. That person might have a better look or something that could help him to get the girls more than you could or take away your chances. Because of that, you feel the envy and that anxiety, that threat. And then you want to, you kind of against that person. That's the anxiety that you feel. Not that you feel inferior. You just want to get that danger away. Danger for your chances to get the girls. It's like you're swimming in the ocean and you see something from there, that a shark is coming. You panic. You try to swim away. You try to swim faster. You see the danger. Even though you later on say, oh, it was just a piece of wood going up and down. It wasn't a shark. It wasn't a shark. But the fact that it looked like a shark and it's a threat, it's a danger to your safety, to your well-being, to whatever it is that you want to accomplish from that exercise in the ocean, whatnot, what your goals are, that makes you feel anxiety and you start, feeling the way you feel. Same thing when you see another male, it's a threat. You want to get rid of the threat. A threat of taking your chances away, the chances that you have with the girls, or the possibility of that male being more male than you are because you've been conditioned by the type of movies you've been watching. So all these play around gives you that feeling of anxiety that you're submissive or that you are not as man, all that bullshit.